My name is Helen Reel. I'm from Local 664. I live in Timmins and I work in developmental services. I have a cousin with Down syndrome, and ever since I was 5 years old, I have always wanted to work with people who have disabilities. I've been an OPSEU activist for about 30 years, and what inspired me to get involved was a convention I attended where I had spoke at the mic, and shortly after that I was approached by a member who said that he appreciated what I had to say and that I was much smarter than what I looked. That hit me like a ton of bricks, because up until that time I hadn't considered myself as a person with a disability, but I do know that intellect is not based on appearance. People with disabilities can and do add value to others' lives. I've recently become involved in helping members who need accommodations in the workplace due to disabilities. One of the accommodations I was involved with was about a person who couldn't do stairs, and the employer's first option was to transfer this person from a house that has stairs to a house that has stairs. So I was able to convince them that that did no good for that person's accommodation. You know, we all want to feel good, and it feels good to help people live a dignified life.
Hi, I'm Kaylin Bartholomew. I work at the Child and Parent Resource Institute in London, and I'm a member of OPSEU Local 112. Within OPSEU, I have many different roles. I'm Vice Chair of the Young Workers Committee. I'm Chair of the Live and Let Live Committee. Within my local, I'm Vice President Youth, and I'm also a unit steward, so I'm pretty busy. I started as CPRI as a casual. I didn't know from 1 week to the next what hours I was going to get or if I was going to have enough money in my bank account to make bills. I also didn't have benefits and was thinking of starting a family. It was a scary time for me, not knowing what was going to happen. So I applied for full-time in the hopes of stability. And just at that point in my life, within a couple days, I found out I was pregnant. And this brought along a new set of worries. I was scared. I was on probation. I could be let go for any reason. So I talked to a coworker about what this meant and my worries. He introduced me to the union and told me they could help me. This is my son Noah, the one I was talking about, and he likes coming to all the union things in the childcare, don't you, buddy? And what else do you like? And you like me. I like you too. Young workers are the future. We need to get involved now. The decisions that are being made are the ones that are going to affect our working careers.
Au sein du ministère où je travaille présentement, j'ai demandé à ce que mon poste soit désigné bilingue et l'employeur a carrément dit, c'est-à-dire mon gérant, carrément dit non. Alors, rien ne m'empêche de communiquer mes allées et mes retours sur le babillard du bureau en français. C'est mon droit. Tout récemment, mon employeur m'a demandé, lorsque j'écris quelque chose en français, je dois le faire également en anglais. Quel accomplissement! Je peux maintenant éduquer le reste du personnel sur la connotation francophone et anglophone de mes allées et venues. J'ai constaté, avec mes années d'expérience au sein du SEFPO, en commençant par un simple grief et en gravitant les échelons et participant à divers comités, que lorsqu'on prend une action, on va obtenir une réaction. Alors, je vous invite tous, prenons action et nous allons gagner ça tous ensemble.
Hi, I'm Wade Stevenson. I'm a rights advisor with the Ministry of Health and Long-Term Care. If you ever find yourself in a mental health facility, you'll probably have a visit from myself or one of my colleagues. OPSEU provided vital support to me in an accommodation request with my employer. They provided education and consultation with me and helped move my accommodation request forward. I had a secret. I had a secret in the fact that, society says you must either be male or female. You can't be somewhere in between or even transgress those norms. Well, I happen to challenge those norms. I don't identify as strictly male or female. I'm a cross-dresser, so I challenge every day those heteronormative practices of gender and concepts by just being simply myself in the workplace. Being part of a union is about being something bigger than yourself. It's also about having a chance to move human rights forward as well as labor rights, advancing social evolution within our society. It's about making things better.
Hi, my name is Eric Davis. I work at an LCBO in Kingston, and I come from Local 497. When my mom was the Region 4 Women's Committee rep, I worked with her on a couple different projects, including a fundraising event we did for a women's shelter in the Kingston area. Working with her on these projects, I ended up becoming very sensitized to a number of equity issues, including women's rights. One of the things I noticed about my workplace is the majority of the workers are women. Roughly 75% of the workforce are female. In my store, we have 14 workers, and only 3 of them are men. Being sensitized to women's issues has helped me handle a significant number of cases in my local. I've handled cases involving sexism and involving women in caregiver roles, both with elderly care and with small children. It's been very rewarding having the opportunity to help members of my local with these kinds of issues. Oftentimes they feel that they have no recourse and have to go through it all alone. I would encourage everyone to be very active in their union. It's an incredibly rewarding experience, and it doesn't take 100 people to change a workplace, it just starts with one.
The OPSEU Aboriginal Circle are made up of 3 different cultures. We have the First Nations, status and non-status. We have the Métis, and we have the Inuit. All 3 cultures are very unique in itself, but if we look at the similarities and the positive of each, we should be able to come out with a really good, solid voice, and in solidarity we will be stronger. Étant métis et francophone, je crois que c'est très important pour toutes les nations d'avoir leur propre langue. Avec la diversité de cette langue, notre syndicat peut devenir plus fort, on peut avoir plus confiance en soi-même pour protéger et avancer nos droits en tous les domaines. It's like a braid. You need to take the past, the present, and the future and braid it together so that we can be a strong voice within our union.
I was the first elected human rights rep for Region 1 in 1994. I've served actively for about 20 years with OPSEU, and I'm proud of my union. I first got involved with OPSEU because of nepotism. My boss was so concerned about nepotism that he hired his niece to look into it, year and year again. I was more concerned about, as the first racialized person to be hired in the MPAC office in Windsor, how other racialized people or people from the Pacific target groups actually got into these workplaces if we were so concerned about hiring our brothers, sisters, friends, and daughters. I believe that although the issue seems like it's not an important one, it is one of the major ways that employment is made up in Ontario. And I believe if we tackle this problem, we'll remove some of the barriers that are cited in the Social Mapping Project. You can't expect things to happen on their own. If you want change, you have to get up and get involved to make it happen.
So when I came to OPSEU, I saw a poster that said, "No justice, no peace." And for me, that kind of summed things up, because that was my passion, was righting wrongs, particularly in the workplace. And there's no peace in the workplace, no peace in your life if you're experiencing injustice, and if your employer is like mine. There are a series of small injustices in workplaces all over this province that eat away at a person's spirit, eat away at a person's life. We need to be educated about matters like pay equity so that we can affect change at our bargaining tables in our workplaces, so we can stand up to our employers and say, we need justice on this matter, or there will be no peace in the workplace. OPSEU is rich with opportunity for women to become involved, to become educated, to become engaged, and to enrich their lives, their life in their communities, in their workplaces, and within the union.